Welcome to the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast, the only podcast that is always an instant classic.
And your
And we want to punch Jim Cornette in the face repeatedly until he bleeds because he's stupid.
I don't know you guys personally.
Hot tag.
Hot tag. Okay, I got you. I'm coming in hot. You know, I'm gonna hit that Big E spear.
We'll see you on the flippity dippity. Oh yeah.
What is going on, everybody? I'm excited. It's time for the TNA Impact Wrestling review. I felt like this show, though, kind of felt because they were setting up for Sacrifice, which they told us randomly throughout the night. But it seemed like this did feel like a go home show, but because it felt like the feuds were just building and building and building. But at first I was like, what are we building towards? And I was like, oh, okay, I see what you did. But I don't know. I thought the show went pretty well. It had its fair of big moments, but it also had its fair share of building feud moments, I guess you could say. But let's start out with the promos, even though it didn't start with a promo tonight. Let's start out with our promos and video packages. We'd have Galloway call out Lashley. He would talk about how he was not cleared to fight, but he was not cleared to wrestle, but he would fight. And then Rockstar Spud comes out and kind of talks up Matt Hardy a little bit. He talks about how Drew was warned, and then Tyrus comes out. I kind of like his music. We don't hear a lot of Tyrus's singles music, so I thought it was pretty cool to hear his singles music. I can't remember what it said. It said something like it wasn't like your time is up, but it was something like that. I can't remember exactly what it said, but I liked it. Because I didn't know who was coming out at first. I thought it was somebody new because I hadn't heard his freaking singles music enough. But Galloway, Tyrus comes out, cuts a promo on Galloway, says he's basically hiding behind his doctor's note. Basically what's going to happen next week is Tyrus versus Galloway, no matter what shape Galloway is in. So as Galloway agrees to this, no matter what shape he may be in, Tyrus says, this is the perfect time to make sure he's not in a good shape for next week. So Tyrus beats him down. Spud would end up distracting him, and Tyrus would attack him, and he would splash him until all the water was out of the pool. Hope he caught that joke. But any thoughts? Any thoughts on the Galloway? I guess technically Galloway Tyrus feud now. And where was Lashley? I was surprised Lashley didn't come out and spear everyone tonight.
I get it, because they water in the pool, and you splash in water, and then all the water come out the pool when you. I get it. I've just learned to not, worry about feuds and making sense in TNA. Because they never do. They randomly change feuds and take people out of feuds and throw them in feuds, and then they don't even care. They just pick random names out of hats every week, and they're like, all right, you're still in the same feud. Oh, you're gonna change it with this guy. But so I wasn't surprised that they kind of randomly are doing this. They've been teasing this cash in for a while, and I kind of hope they finally do it, but I feel like we all know, he's going to win it, and it might set up him breaking off from the Hardy brand, but he's probably just going to hand the title to Matt Hardy, which I don't want to see, but I kind of want to see Matt with the title again, though, because I feel like he was robbed of the title as soon as Jeff came back.
That's not your actual reason. Your reason is because Matt Hardy is iconic. That's what it is. Come on, Casey. You know what it really is.
I mean, even Spud said, I can't.
He did try at least. He did. I saw him at least try. But next we had Maria talking about how things will change in the Knockouts division. I'm pretty sure this was a little backstage segment. Maria talking about how she's going to change things after a certain match that happened earlier that we don't know about yet. So, you guys watched the show. Maria won the ladder match, and she's talking about how things are going to change next week. And then we would end up getting a Mike Bennett promo a little bit later. But any thoughts on Maria maybe changing up things? She's
I
gonna change the knockouts to divas. What's gonna happen? I see it.
Again, does this mean that they're just like getting rid of the knockouts title? Because that's what the knockouts title was. Whoever had the knockouts title was the head of the top, the
Not necessarily. If you think about it, just because you win MVP don't mean you're a star player.
I mean,
Shout out to the NBA playoffs.
I don't know, but it's confusing, and we'll get to that match, but I didn't like the ending of that match. I'm excited to see what they're gonna do with it, because hopefully they actually start a storyline with the knockouts, because I've been noticing how kind of pathetic the knockouts division has become in a sense. You know, that they're not bringing in really new talent. They're,
They are. We just haven't seen them yet.
shut. Apparently you've been seeing some stuff that I ain't seeing, but I mean, it's so small just compared to like WWE's women's division. I would be surprised, but then again, there are all the rumors that TNA is having money issues and things like that, which I don't know.
Those come at least 7 times a year. So
Yeah, but I mean, 7 times. One of them's got to be right. One of them's got to be right.
Maybe, probably. Anyway, but it's all from the same source, so technically. But anyway,
one of them's got to be
right. The Decay take Gail Kim at the end of the ladder match. They took Gail Kim, and throughout the night, I'm just gonna combine all of the Decay stuff together right here. I usually don't do a good job of this, but it does mold together, I guess you could say. Shut your mouth, Casey. But the Decay would end up taking Gail Kim basically hostage, and then end up demanding a tag team title match later on in the night, which they will get next week in an unknown match that's just fitting for the Decay. Monsters Ball. But I'm not sure what it's going to be, but I'm just going to guess that it could be a ball in which monsters go to. We got all kinds of balls going on. We had Rose Ball happen a couple weeks ago. If you're a frat person, you got all these different sorority formals, and now we got maybe a potential monsters ball. I might go. I might get my best monsters get up and get me, that cardboard box over there and take it with me, and we gonna anyway. Thoughts on the potential or confirmed tag team title match we have next week, and them taking Gail Kim hostage, because Gail Kim and the tag team division, they match up real well.
I'm not even gonna talk about the fact that the only match that Abyss ever has anymore is a Monsters Ball match. I'm not gonna get into that. I'm gonna let that slide, but it's a fact. Those are the only matches the man ever has anymore.
I mean, it's because he a monster.
But anyway, you mentioned it a little bit just then. What does Gail Kim have anything to do with the tag team titles or beer money? Ever. They have never been in a storyline together. They've never.
I know what it is. See, turns out Gail Kim, she drinks beer, and because she works for TNA, she makes money. So it's
that probably was their idea. That was their logic. They were like, okay, we saw her drink beer that one time at the bar. Okay, we pay her money. Let's put her in a storyline with beer money. It makes sense because we're TNA.
Yeah, I didn't get that, but I like that they at least did something with the Decay this week with them taking somebody. I don't know. I thought it was one of those things where she was for such a long time like a veteran and a leader of the leader of the Knockouts division. So they take one leader to try to get another leader to come out. I don't know. They was trying to get a leader board meeting
I thought
going.
like I thought they were
They should
gonna.
have took Dixie. That's what they should have did.
I thought she
They
was
should
gonna
have
try
took.
to like demand a knockouts title match that would kind of make sense a little bit, but no, tag team title match. You know,
But I know. See what it was. Gail Kim used to be the Knockouts Tag Team Champions at one point, so it molds. They trying to bring that back in a little bit. Anyway, I'm gonna stop trying to explain this because it's not working. um, the next one we have is a Matt Hardy on how Jeff Hardy all he's done is taken, and basically how he will cease to exist after tonight. Any thoughts on the Matt Hardy Rebby Sky kind of dual promo, which is kind of cool? Little Maxwell was in the little thing that don't look that I'm gonna stop. He was in the little cubby thing that the mamas wear when they had their little babies. I would never put my baby in there, but the thoughts.
what?
You ain't see him when they arrived at the building. He was in a little.
I did, but I don't know what the hell you talking about with. No, I don't have anything to say about that because you ruined my whole thought process.
Because you didn't have a thought process.
I did. I did. Shut up.
We got a Shane Helms promo talking about his spark in the X division. I really don't know how far to go with this because the match happened before. It was Andrew Everett, which I think was cool because they all from the same area. That's kind of a cool little. I kind of like that. It's kind of a faction that they're starting, but they're not technically they're not technically calling them a faction. Which I think is kind of cool. I definitely like. I'm liking the Shane Helms mystique. I like the music and everything. I'm a fan. At first, I thought it was I don't know why I thought it was Brian Myers for some reason. I don't know why. For some reason, I was like, it's Brian Myers. Oh my god! And then I was like, wait, no, that's not. But anyway, any thoughts on Shane Helms and finally that spark that I've been talking about that we ain't seen? It happened.
I'm excited about it. This new faction. But I feel like that at least like I've seen Trevor Lee's matches, I've seen Andrew Everett matches. I like both of them, but for some
have you seen Shane Helms matches?
I have back in the day. I'm old, so back in the day. But for some reason in the ring together, they kind of looked like the same generic guy. One had black hair, one had blonde hair. That I was like,
they're the
Edgeheads. No, they're the Helms heads. They're the Hurra heads. He's gonna come back as Hurricane. They're gonna be the Hurra heads. Yeah.
Alrighty. Then we got an EY promo, and he talks about how this will be the last time you will see Eric Young, and he's king, and he's God, and he's all that. He said all that. And then he said basically he gonna take the King of Mountain title with him. And I was like, I wonder how this is gonna go. And then Brad like, nah, bruh. I don't know what you thinking. That's my title. I think that look good around this waist. His waist not up here. It's down here, but y'all can't see my hands down. Anyway, he said that'll look good around his waist. And I'm like, okay. So I'm wondering how this is gonna go. EY would proceed to power drive Bram and cut some of the snip of the beard off, but yeah. Thoughts. I know you're gonna tell me. See, I told you he quit.
I done told you. I told you I done watched it first, and I told you he quit, and I win. Anyway, finally we get we've been waiting weeks and weeks and weeks for the breakup of these two, the breakdown of the team. We all knew, EY was leaving TNA. We were waiting for this. So I guess he's probably going to drop the title to Bram before he leaves. I'm guessing is what they're doing. But I mean, I think that they both should leave. I do. I think that Bram should go back to NXT. If y'all don't know, he was originally in NXT. He was one of the original members of the Ascension. That's what needed to happen. He need to go back and be a member of the Ascension again, and it'll help build up, because another member of the Ascension had been suspended. But we're not going to get into that. But he should.
But, I mean, because you ran out of time, Casey. I think it's the issue. Did you look into his eyes, Casey?
No, I didn't. I refuse.
You ran out of time. You got one more week to look into his eyes. So make sure you do it, because this is a once in a lifetime moment. It's not very often you get to look into his eyes.
But what if he signs with another company and then I can still look into his eyes?
But then it won't be the same eyes, because he probably won't have the same. Because he gonna go to WWE and be young E, or something like that. Like they.
He gonna be little E, and he gonna put him with Big E.
Moving on. Oh, moving on. Can we get a Jeff Hardy promo? Talk about how Matt has changed. Still trying to build up the main event of the evening. Any thoughts?
I think that'd be a good tag team. Big E and Little E.
Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy? Yeah, they've done a couple matches together. I know.
I think that no, Big E and EY as Little E. They're gonna take over the WWE and be the champions. Okay, that one was a stretch, but it's gonna happen. But yeah, Jeff talked and stuff, and he didn't try to start a chant, which is good.
I think I did hear Hardy's rematch. But anyway, next we got a Mike Bennett. Sorry, it has to happen every time the name. Mike Bennett promo. It talks about EC3, and for some reason, Mike Bennett. I don't know if he like a master storyteller. I think he used to read to the kids back in the day, but he likes to tell the story of EC3. And he talks about the story, and he mentioned the Kingdom of Miracles. Kingdom was my emphasis for that, just in case you didn't notice. I don't know. I just think it's weird that he calls it the Kingdom. I mean, I don't know anything. I'm just saying Kingdom. Just look at it. Anyway. EC3 comes out to kind of join Mike Bennett and defend himself, tell his side of the story, because it's always two sides. He talks about how similar they are, but kind of, gets his little shots in, little subtle shots, little subtle differences, which I love about EC3. Even as a face, he still has that little subtle, I'm a dick. He has that little, that subtleness about him, but EC3 tells Mike to beat him because obviously no one else has, so I'm wondering about this, because going into this match, because I think it would be good for Mike Bennett to win and beat the streak, but I don't want to see the streak come to an end, because he is the champ, darn it. But he'll be the champ, darn it, regardless of if he has a streak or not. But it would be good for Mike Bennett, though. I think it would be a good thing to kind of put him on the map in TNA officially, because I mean, you would hate to see somebody else beat the streak and it not really make any sense. So I think if anyone was to do it, it would be cool to see Mike Bennett do it. I wouldn't be surprised if it was by shenanigans, but it still happened. But any thoughts on the Mike Bennett promo?
I mean, we all know that it's going to be Brock Lesnar that's going to break the streak. That would only make sense. It's going to be Brock Lesnar. But I mean, there's palaces, there's empires, and then there are kingdoms. There's There's a lot of kingdoms in the world, and some of the kingdoms are different. Kingdoms move from place to place, so you might see one kingdom somewhere, and then you see it somewhere. I have no idea. He might have seen something on a spoiler. I'm just saying kingdom over and over again. But did you see the kicks though? Did you see the? I mean, they were a little bit too gold for me. I can't rock those. But Mike Bennett, he was rocking the gold shoes. I was like, where you get some of those? I want to know. I mean, is it like just painted, or is it like solid? Were they solid gold shoes? I think they were solid gold. I do.
And the last promo / segment is promoting a new show featuring Eli Drake, called The Fact of Life. I don't know, or Facts of Life. No, it's Fact of Life. So I'm wondering how that's gonna go. I think they just want Eli Drake just to talk. I think I'm just gonna get an alarm that says, "Let me talk to you. This is Eli Drake, and you need to wake up." I need an alarm or something featuring Eli Drake. That'll get me up in the morning. That'll get me going.
Wake up. That's not an insult. That's just a fact of life. That's what it's got to say.
But I think it should be interesting, obviously, with Eli Drake being the host of it. Obviously he's pretty funny guy. He said he's gonna expose the dummies. So I'm wondering what dummies we're talking about. But Casey, any thoughts on the dummies or Eli Drake?
I'm excited. The man deserves his own talk show. I mean, there's Piper's Pit, there's the Ambrose Asylum, and now
Miz TV. You forgot one.
Life.
The best one.
No. Miz TV is the worst one. The absolute worst. He lost on SmackDown, by the way, which was good.
But he's still the champ. So. But anyway, let's get into the matches. We started off the night with a ladder match for control of the Knockouts division. I think they should have just brought Brooke Hogan back for this match. Had her win, then we could have just had Deja Vu. Like that Beyonce song, "Baby I'm Swearing." Anyway, I'm gonna stop right there while I'm ahead. Casey, I'm gonna give you this match since you said you had some interesting thoughts. I'm gonna let you get your thoughts out there now.
Oh, I was super excited for this match because TNA actually has female ladder matches, which WWE should have. I don't know why they don't, but I don't know. This one felt sloppy.
It's what I know what it is. The only reason a female should be touching a weapon is if they're hitting Tommy Dreamer with a kendo stick on the Eddie Christian show that totally reeks of awesomeness. That's what WWE logic.
I mean, I would have got hit by Bayley with that kendo stick. I'm just saying. I mean, the girl looked good on the Eddie Christian show that totally reeks of awesomeness. I'm just saying.
Oh, so you're a fan now after all these weeks of talking about how she let Izzy down and all this.
I mean, no. See what it is that they record the show weeks in advance. I mean, they got a show recorded with Sasha Banks that it's not out yet, but so that was back before she let Izzy down. That was before that. So I can still like her back then, the shame came after that. But anyway, I just felt like this match, at times it felt sloppy. I just don't know. And the ending seemed really rushed and like sort of anticlimactic. Like I was like, oh, that's it. Like nobody's gonna like jump up on the ladder, or like there's not going to be an epic fight at the top, or like it was just bad. Even I think she hit, was it I think it was Velvet Sky with the kendo stick and knocked her off the ladder. The sell on that looked horrible. Her falling off the ladder looked horrible. Uh, I think they could have done a much better match. But also, if they're building up to Sacrifice next week, why wasn't this next week on Sacrifice? I don't get it. There were a couple matches that tonight or on this show that I was like, okay, if Sacrifice is next week, why didn't you just build it up another week and have the big match on Sacrifice? It doesn't make sense.
I agree. I don't know. I kind of like this match. I thought it was pretty good. There was a lot of Maria running, so a lot of Maria running. I I don't know. It was just it was just an okay match to me. The power bomb from off top of the ladder was nice by Jade, or by Marty Bell on Jade. And obviously Maria ends up getting the contract, which I'm not surprised about. I'm just wondering what they're gonna do with this. I wonder, is this the way they're trying to? Because it might be something where this is the way they're gonna bring in the new knockouts that they signed. Because I know they signed some like Cherry Bomb and somebody from Shimmer too recently. I think there's one more they signed when they signed that group of 5 a couple weeks back, but or a month back. But I wonder, is that going to be the way they're going to kind of bring them in, is through Maria instead of just randomly bringing them in. But the next match we have, if I'm not mistaken, is Eddie Edwards versus DJZ versus Trevor Lee. A lot of E's and Z's and stuff. But for the X Division Championship, this was a pretty good match. It was a fast-paced match. It was a fun match to watch. Cool to see Eddie Edwards back in singles competition. And basically, the ending of this match, Andrew Everett pushes Eddie Edwards off the top turnbuckle, and then Eddie Edwards is caught with a jumping knee for the win by Trevor Lee. I'm wondering, what's going to happen. Is there going to be, because since next week is Sacrifice, is there going to be an X Division title match next week or anything like that? Since there was one this week. But any thoughts on this X Division title match?
I don't know. I thought it should have been next week. But then again, they've been doing this X Division thing every week. It seems like they're really building up this new sort of faction, which I like. I feel like we haven't had a good faction in a while. I mean, we have the Hardy brand. But,
I mean, if nothing else, Casey, it is Iconic.
Yeah, but I mean, the Hurra Heads, we got the debut of the Hurra Heads. I heard the t-shirt's going to be out pretty soon, Hurra Heads t-shirt. It's going to be good. Stay in the back. The Hurra Heads are coming through. Get it? Because stay in the back. There's a hurricane coming.
Anyway, we gonna move on from that. We gonna go ahead and go. We had Al Snow versus I like to. Oh, he didn't even say it. He didn't even say it tonight. He didn't say no words. So I can't even make fun. I can't even impersonate. My boy, Mahabali Shera tonight. But he did like to fight tonight. I saw it. He was real straight and to the point. But Al Snow was not taking no for an answer. He ends up using brass knuckles to knock out Mahabali Shera there at the end. Taped up brass knuckles at that. So that witty veteran, I tell you. But I thought this match was pretty good. I want to see more of Mahabali Shera though, because I for some reason I really like Mahabali Shera in the ring. For a power guy, he just has something about him that I really like, and it was not that mustache he had from a couple weeks ago. But any thoughts on Al Snow? versus Mahabali Shera.
I still don't understand why they're doing this feud. There's so much stuff that they could do with Mahabali Shera. I mean, I don't have a problem seeing Al Snow because I love seeing Al Snow in the ring. It's especially kind of cool to see Al Snow wrestle in more of a serious gimmick, I guess you could say, because we're all used to the kind of goofy Al Snow from his WWE days, and the only time then we really got to see him being serious was on Tough Enough. So this is cool, kind of seeing more of a serious side to him in a gimmick. But I don't know where they're going with this, what they're doing with this. It's kind of confusing. But I don't know what you're talking about with these taped up breasts. I didn't see any taped up brass knucks. I mean, Mahabali just got a weak head. That's what that is. That there was no taped up. You crazy. I didn't see nothing. I didn't see nothing.
Alrighty then. Apparently, Casey forgot his glasses in the other room. But anyway, we got Jeff Hardy versus Matt Hardy in an I Quit match. It was an epic encounter that started with submission holds and Spud getting involved and ended with Jeff Hardy jumping off of high things because that's what Jeff Hardy does. Jeff Hardy does not care about anything, but this was a good match. It was obviously personal. You could tell it was personal, which I definitely like. I love the storytelling between these two. I think because they're brothers, it made it a little bit easier to tell the story too, a little bit. But I definitely enjoyed this match. It ended in a no contest, I think, and I. I definitely I enjoy this match. I wonder what that's gonna do for Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy. Obviously, they won't be on there next week, so I'm wondering what's going to happen with that now since their match kind of ended in a draw. Any thoughts on the I Quit match of the night?
Backlash 2009. Oh wait, this wasn't Backlash 2009. I could swear they had this match on Backlash 2009. It was Matt Hardy versus Jeff Hardy in an I Quit match. No, but I like this match. It was good. It was kind of one of those matches we like to kind of see on occasion. The I Quit matches, the hardcore matches, the extreme matches. Some of it was kind of obnoxious from the announcer's perspective. I feel like when they were in the production side, like they were like, this isn't where we normally have cameras and it might be too dark for you to see, so don't adjust your television. And I'm like, dude, it's really not that dark. Like, why are you saying this? But it was a good match. For one, I think they, like I said earlier with some of the other matches, this should have been built up another week to Sacrifice. What are you going to do at Sacrifice now? And I mean, they left it as like a no contest, but with how extreme that match was, are you going to tell me that they're going to have another match next week as good or better? I don't know. I just think that
in the hospital.
I mean, they're going to have the first ever hospital match.
The first person to leave the hospital win.
Exactly. I just don't know. I feel like this was bad booking, unless they pull something out that's really surprising next week. I just think this was bad booking.
Alrighty. That was your TNA review for 4/19/2016. Please, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Give us a like if you like the video. Leave a comment even. Hopefully tomorrow we'll have our NXT review out. Is the plan. But
we was gonna have it, but we had some guests that ain't ready. I'm not, pointing anybody out, but Amy. Maddie.
Wait, what? We were have the Edge and Christian show. Taylor Reese so awesome is here. Funaki.
Yeah, we were. We were.
All right. But hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. We'll see you guys later.